Before we start this video, a short disclaimer: I'm not a bassist, so please apologize my pick playing. I know that some of you might be allergic to that. I'm mainly a guitarist and I'm composing my music using a real instrument instead of bass MIDI programming, because one of the reasons is that I'm too lazy, and the second thing is that using a real instrument gives a lot of possibilities. This is a really open-minded procedure, a really different process than just, following the MIDI with the guitar. This is the IBANEZ 5-string multiscale, and this is my new song, the sketch of my new song, which will be on the third album coming next year probably. Let's go. If you like the music, please remember to hit that subscribe button to help me grow this channel. Also, the tabs and all the merch is in the links in the description below. So what you just heard is the IBANEZ SRMS725, which stands for the 5-string version of the multiscale bass from IBANEZ. This one is a little bit controversial because it got the Fishman Fluence pickups, and I know that some of you might not like that configuration, but I previously owned the SRMS725 with the Bartolini pickups, and for my music I think that those Fluence pickups sounds a little bit better. There's only one color available for this particular technical specification. This is the Blue Chameleon, and if you want the SRMS guitar with the Fluence pickups, this is the only choice you got. If that's cool, I don't know. Personally, this is one of my favorite colors, but it's all, let's say, subjective. Also, there's a black finish on the neck, and this is a little bit controversial for me as well, because frankly speaking, I'm not a big fan of this, but later about that. 34 and 35.5 inch scale over here, so this is the, let's say, best of both worlds, because this is not a baritone bass, let's say, so to speak. This is like something in between. So this 35.5 is enough to allow you to down-tune this bass, but also this is a really comfortable instrument and it's really easy to play. The string spacing on the MRS bridge is 16.5 millimeters, and there's also a cool feature which allows you to, let's say, adjust those saddles in the range of 1.5 millimeters. So there's a lot of possibilities to, let's say, set up this guitar properly for your needs, for your, let's say, preferences. When it comes to the wood used in this guitar, we have to remember that we are dealing with some sort of lower tier of instruments. So we got the Okomwe body, we got the Panga fretboard. I don't know why there are two Pangas in this name, but whatever. And we got the 5-piece maple walnut type of neck. And this neck is covered in the satin black finish, which in my opinion, this is, let's say, this is my opinion. This is subjective, you might disagree with me, but this looks really cool and it feels really poor. We have to remember that this is some sort of, let's say, budget line of instruments, and I think that in comparison to the SRMS805, which I used to have, I think that this instrument is a little bit worse when it comes to the quality of the instrument itself, to the wood, but it's just, this is like a minor differences, and we have to remember that we are speaking about, let's say, lower mid level of instruments. So if you consider that, this is a pretty good deal. While we are on the back of the guitars, it's really important to mention the cool solutional over there. This is the GraphTech machine heads, and each of them have their own specific gear ratio for the specific string. So this is pretty cool because it gives you the even force you need to turn the tuner to get the same results on the treble string and on the bass string. So this is, let's say, innovative, Is it really translates to something like, wow, this bass is amazing because of those machine heads? Not really, but it's better to have it, right? We got a Fishman Fluence over there, so this is the active, let's say, type of bass, and I really need to mention this because it will bother me if I don't. This butter cavity looks like something from a really cheap Chinese toy from my childhood. This is like from some sort of RC car, I don't know, but this is pretty lame. I needed to mention this because, you know, it will bother me. Sorry guys, but this is terrible. I know that this is a budget type of instrument, but it's just Let's go to the controversial topic. This is the Fishman Fluence pickups, active electronics, and let's say dive into the knobs over there. So over here we got the regular volume, so nothing really fancy, but it's a push-pull, so this will give you an additional ability to split the coils inside the pickups. They will narrow the magnetic zones or something like that. I don't know how it works exactly, but this is the split coil and we'll discuss it in a second. Over here we have the balancer, so you know, neck pickup, bridge pickup, and something in between. You got this click that you're in the middle. So we got the both pickups, of course. Over there we got the trebles, boost or cut, middle and bass. And in the demo that you heard, I just slightly boosted the high and just backed up a little bit of the bass, but the middle was in the center. This is the Fishman equalizer, so this is the Fishman Electronics, and this comes with the micro switch, which gives you 3 additional voicing. So if you pair everything, you got a 3 voicing plus those multiplication by 2 when you use the push-pull. So you got the voice 1, which is some sort of, let's say, bassy, muddy, classical type of sound. The voice 2, which is, let's say, full dynamic range. This is what they say. This is like a, let's say, more broad type of sound. And the third one, which is a little bit mid-scooped, let's say, more funky and more high-end oriented. This is the one that I use, for example, for my music, because I found that this cuts best through the mixes, like the metal mixes with the high gain guitars and stuff like that. So 3 voicings multiplied by 2, because you got the same thing but with the single coil configuration, with the split coil configuration. Fishman Fluence pickups are really versatile. I know that this is, you know, really far away from classical bass sounds like, you know, Fender jazz bass and stuff like that, but in case of my music that you just heard, so, you know, high gain guitars and stuff like that, I'm really focused on the bass sound which cuts through the mix, and I got this certain idea of the sound that you might not like it, of course, but it's, you know, it's achievable on the Fishman Fluence pickups, and it wasn't achievable on the Bartolini in the SRMS725, which I used to have for like 2 years. Let's call it more versatile type of not perfect solution. I will not say that they are plastic sounding. I think that it's all manageable, and you know, the majority of sound comes from the post-processing anyway, so all you need to do is to, let's say, set the basics all over here, decide which pickup you will use, which voicing you will use, and you are ready to go, because you know, this guitar sounds really well. When it comes to the intonation, it works flawlessly. I have no problems with the tuning stability. I think that this model is a pretty good solution for anyone starting their adventure with the bass guitars, because this is a really easy to play instrument. I was a little bit shocked how easy it is to adapt to this instrument. The guitar is made in Indonesia, so if you are consider buying this, I really encourage you to go to your local shop and test this guitar, the particular model you're about to buy, because I'm always, let's say, suggested in my videos, don't trust the YouTube videos like blindly, go and try the instruments yourself. So to sum this up, I think that the first score for this guitar will be something like 7 out of 10. It's not ideal, it's far from perfect. There are, you know, a lot of quality, let's say, things that I think that might be improved, but this is not a custom shop instrument. This is this, let's say, stock bass guitar from the really low series, so I believe that you get what you pay for, and in this case, with the Fishman Fluence pickups, it's a really versatile instrument. It's also beginner friendly because it's extremely easy to play. It's like like a regular guitar. So for me, I felt like home, right? Playing this like out of the box, I was ready to play. Anyways, if you like to support me, please remember that you can buy my CDs all over the Bandcamp, and all the links are in the description. I'm also filling up the gap of the tabs, so if you would like to play my songs, the tabs are all over there. I will be uploading more tabs right now, but more about that in the upcoming videos. Thank you for staying with me. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video, guys.